Coming up on Good Morning Texas, we quiz students on April Fool's trivia.
New ways to work out at home.
And reduce stress with self-care tips.
All this and more coming up on Good Morning Texas. Good morning, Texas. I'm Kayla Peterman.
I'm Dominique Lavigny.
And I'm Joseph Stewart. Thank you for waking up with us on this first Wednesday of April 2019.
So guys, school's like back underway after spring break, so that comes midterms. How are you guys doing with your midterms? I'm feeling a little overwhelmed right now, I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, it's been pretty crazy. I really don't have the motivation to kind of do the things that I have to do, and I have a lot of stuff to do, so it's been really crazy. How have you been doing?
You know what, I can highly relate to that. I have 2 tests this week and one that I haven't really studied for, so yeah, I'm kind of lacking motivation too. So speaking of this, it's that time of the year where some of us start slacking with our schoolwork. You know, spring break fever hasn't left just yet, and the semester is getting close to an end. We hope those laughs from April Fool's Day cheered you up during this tough time of the semester. Let's take a look at how we cheered some people up.
City is the April Fool's Day parade in?
Oh, Oregon.
St. Louis.
New York.
What president made April Fool's Day a holiday in the United States?
Probably Donald Trump.
Wait, I have no idea, dude.
Ronald Reagan.
Like FDR or something?
Thinking George W. Right, but then I'm like, who put crack in the ghettos? Nixon, right?
What saint is associated with April Fool's Day?
None.
Augustine. Jorge.
There is no saint.
None?
So April Fool's Day would be St. April.
So Dominique, what was it like to be able to kind of just go out and ask those questions?
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. I really intended the questions to be kind of tricky, just to play kind of an April Fool's Day prank. So it was really fun to see what people had to say and like their responses to things that didn't necessarily exist.
Saint of April Fool's Day.
I mean, you would have got me with that. Like, I would have said, oh, it's this saint, trying to guess. So I definitely would have fallen for that joke. However, this isn't a joke. Laughter may be the best medicine for some, but it's not for everyone. Research says a quick 1 on the treadmill or a small workout can easily calm your nerves. But to walk across campus to get Gregory Gym can be such a pain sometimes. So Joseph here, he gave us a new routine that you can do right from the comfort of your room.
Hey everybody, Joseph Stewart here. And you know, one problem I've found being a college student is that sometimes I don't always have time to go to the gym or to get a good workout in like I like to. So today, I'm going to show you how to stay fit without leaving the comfort of your dorm room or your apartment.
Push-ups are great for staying fit and building strength as they work your upper body and arm muscles. If you feel up to it, throw in some clap push-ups for a challenge. Lateral raises are another great exercise for working your upper body muscles. While usually performed with weights, backpacks can be used as a substitute. Also, chair dips do wonders for your upper body, especially your triceps. The key is to let your arms do all the work throughout the dip. If you want to work your lower body, try step-up kicks with just a chair at first. Then you can add 1 or 2 heavy-feeling backpacks to simulate weights and better develop your lower body. Squats will additionally develop and tone your lower body muscles. You can do squats with nothing on your back, or you can load a backpack with a bunch of textbooks and squat that, which will give you more of a challenge. Keep your back straight and chest out for better form. Ab work through sit-ups will definitely shape you up. Keep your knees bent and touch your knees with your chest. Lastly, performing planks for periods of time will strengthen and build the core section of your body. Put on some music and enjoy the burn and get those abs right.
So Joseph, is working out one of your favorite kind of stress relievers?
Oh yeah, without a doubt. Like anytime that I have the chance to, I love to like grab my headphones, put on my music, and just lose myself in the weights. Like it takes me back to a time when things were way simpler than they are now.
So you like the gym. Dominique, what about you? What's your favorite way to kind of just relieve your stress?
So I love movies. Anytime that I can just sit in my room and just watch a good movie or two, that'll definitely be a huge stress reliever for me.
I hear that.
All right. Well,
so laughter, working out, they're both great ways to keep your stress levels down this midterm season. It's also important to take time for yourself and enjoy what you like. Kayla gives us 3 self-care tips that you can use during your next study session.
So, spring break at UT has come and gone, unfortunately, which means that we are right in the middle of midterm season. And I don't know about you guys, but I get extremely overwhelmed and stressed whenever I look at my planner and I see a test, a paper, and a final project due all within the same month that all require quite a bit of time to prepare for. So here are my 3 tips and tricks that I like to do in order to kind of ground myself and bring myself back down to square one, and hopefully they can kind of do the same for you.
One of my favorite things to do when I'm stressing is to cook. My favorite meal is breakfast, so I like to take my time, whether it's preparing my coffee, my eggs, or the perfect piece of toast. I also really enjoy taking time to binge my favorite shows and to even use a face mask. Lastly, I try to enjoy the city around me. After all, we have several parks and outdoor activities to take advantage of here in Austin. So that's why I enjoyed a nice stroll through Zilker Park, especially by the calming waters. Whether you've got a test on the brain or just feeling the weight of a lengthy semester, now you've got 3 different ways to reset and make the best of it.
Wow, that was really nice. I really liked the face mask. It's definitely a good thing to just take a break sometimes when your brain just shuts down.
I was about to say, when you're in that part of studying and you just feel like you can't, sometimes you just need to walk away and watch 30 minutes of your favorite show, or do a quick face mask, or make sure that you're eating a proper meal. Like those little things really add up to help set you up for success.
Yeah, because like you'll stress like crazy if you don't, and I have the experiences. It's not fun because then you're not productive at all. So like you're defeating your own purpose.
Exactly. Well, don't go anywhere. After the break, Joseph tells us the latest in the news and this week's weather forecast. So stay tuned.
Welcome back to Good Morning Texas. Let's head over to Joseph Stewart. What's in the news today, Joseph?
Thank you, Dominique. In national news, Boeing is expected to release their final software update. Their plan to fix the 737 MAX planes will be approved by the Federal Aviation Administration. Around the middle of last month, the 737 MAX planes were grounded following a fatal crash in Ethiopia. This marked the second fatal crash involving this model since October. In the meantime, Boeing will continue to review and rework its software until all of the problems are fixed. The number of confirmed cases of measles in the state of Texas has exceeded the numbers reported in previous years. So far, in 2019, there have been 14 cases, compared to 9 in 2018 and only 1 in 2017. 4 of those cases were reported in Harris County, which makes Houston the area with the most reported cases. Measles is highly contagious. An infected person can spread the disease through the air by sneezing or coughing. Over my short time at UT, I've seen how crazy the city gets when thousands come into town for events like South by Southwest or ACL. More events bring both more people and a larger demand for space within Austin's convention center. Researchers at UT were asked to come up with ideas to tackle the need for more space. Their solutions range from leaving the current convention center as is to constructing a completely new convention center. If they do so, the money would come from the tax people pay when staying at a hotel.
Thanks, Joseph. It's kind of crazy that they're considering, remaking the Austin Convention Center because it's a huge building as it is.
It's really big already. The city's just grown so much. There's so many people here all the time.
Well, can you tell us what the weather's going to be like this weekend?
Well, we've seen a mix of clouds and sunshine over the past few days, but we may see a few showers during the afternoon hours of today with a high near 71 degrees. The chance of showers will drop from 50% to 40% as we go from day to night with a low of 64 degrees. Thursday will bring a 20% chance of showers with thunderstorms expected before 1 p.m. with a high near 86. Thursday night will bring mostly clear skies with a low near 63. On Friday, we can expect to see some sun and feel some heat, as it will be partly sunny with a high of 83. However, this will change as we go into Friday night with a 50% chance of showers and thunderstorms and a low around 65 degrees. You may want to grab the rain gear if you plan on heading out Saturday, as the showers and thunderstorms are very likely, with a 70% chance of precipitation and a high of 78. The chance of rain will decrease to 30% as we approach Saturday night with a low around 64 degrees. Sunday will end your weekend with mostly sunny skies, a high near 84 and only a 20% chance of precipitation. Sunday night will bring partly cloudy skies and a low of 60. Live from the Weather Center, I'm Joseph Stewart.
Thank you, Joseph.
Man, it just seems like, last weekend the rain chances were kind of there, and then they didn't. It seems like it's going to be more so this weekend that we're going to see that rain.
Yeah.
It's just awfully persistent lately.
Yeah, it really is. But April showers bring May flowers. So
You're totally right. I got to be grateful for that.
yeah, for sure. Don't go anywhere. After the break, we recap Roundup and recent changes implemented by the Interfraternity Council. Stay tuned.
Good morning, Texas. Joining us is UT's Interfraternity Council. We have Nate Carlson here with us. How are you doing today?
Doing good. It's good to be here.
It's good to have you. So can you just kind of remind our audience what your position is within the Interfraternity Council?
Sure. So I'm the Vice President of Communications this year for the Interfraternity Council.
Awesome. So what exactly does that position entail?
So for Vice President of Communications, our largest responsibility is making sure that, we have a lot of chapters. We have 25 chapters now here at the University of Texas. And there's a lot of communication that goes into making sure that we can have everyone on the same page.
Sure.
With regards to our General Assemblies, as well as, more important things like Roundup and how we facilitate operations for that.
Awesome. So what exactly do you guys do with these meetings, everything? You just said you facilitate operations and that sort of thing. So can you kind of explain to our audience what that means in a sense?
Right. So there's all sorts of things that we deal with, whether it's, bringing speakers to campus for presidents to go to or chapter members to go to, or it's something like just, how we keep updates on chapter records for each semester.
Awesome.
Those kind of things that we can just have those. They're not super often. They're about once a month, and that's when we update our presidents. We get feedback from them, and we can really meet them in person.
Sure. So you just mentioned Roundup, and it just happened this weekend. So how'd it go?
It went really well. This was one of the safest roundups we've had in a long time. Thankfully, all of our events went to completion this year. That had a lot to do with some of the new systems we implemented, as well as a lot of hard work from chapter presidents and their other planning committees for their events. Austin Police Department and Austin Fire Department came out to several events, but didn't need to shut any down because we were in compliance with everyone we needed to be with.
That's awesome.
And that speaks volumes to the guys who put on their individual events.
Awesome. So can you kind of tell us how these recent changes have made this year's Roundup different than previous years?
Right, so some of the big changes, one that started last year was the RFID bands. The important thing there is that allows us to have a better live kind of tracking of where events are at considering fire capacity.
Okay.
A lot of people come out to Roundup events. It's a really fun time. A lot of people like to be there, but we've had issues in years past with too many people getting into an event and then it being over, capacity as set by Austin Fire Code.
Okay.
So with the RFID bands, number one thing there is we can assure people's age, and the number two thing is we can track capacity at different events, and that allows us to ensure that we're staying within the letter of the law with regards to safety standards.
Okay.
The next change would be something that's new to this year, which was the EMT services that we had at individual events.
Okay.
And those were good because it allowed chapters with larger events to opt in and have medical professionals on site, where if something were to go wrong, that they could treat them immediately. And thankfully, we didn't have too many scenarios where anything serious had to be dealt with this year. Like I said, it was a very safe year. But having those guys there offers a lot of peace of mind to those planning the events, and also offers a lot of security for those attending.
For someone that hasn't attended Roundup, it's comforting to hear like EMTs were there, because you go to
Right.
ACL and you go to like South by and you have medical personnel and EMTs on site in case anything does happen. So it's good that these students are having that resource there to them when they're out having a good time. So I have another question for you. Where does the money go from the philanthropic side of Roundup? Where does that money go and who does it affect?
Right, yeah, so we're very proud that we raise a lot of money for philanthropy through Roundup now. One of the big things that we do is, in years past, we've donated a lot of money to Be Positive Foundation.
Okay.
And they kind of came to us and said, hey guys, look, we really just appreciate mostly, more than the money, is the publicity that you guys bring us. And so they kind of gave us their blessing essentially this year to go out and find some more local charities to give back to.
Sure.
And we were really excited to do that. So we're still working on some of the more individual things we want to do. But we let chapters kind of help us determine what they want to do. So we're going to be going to all sorts of different philanthropies this year, everything from Be Positive Foundation all the way down to more local charities. And we're really excited about that.
That's
so we'll have
awesome.
more information about that soon.
All right. Well, coming up after the break, we will have our very own. Coming up after the break, we are going to be speaking with award-winning writer Niti Mashea. Stay tuned.
Yeah. Welcome, Niti. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. So you were in New York recently. Can you tell me a little bit about it?
Yeah, I was actually there to read some of my work for this UN-affiliated conference. We were celebrating International Women's Day, and one of my friends is a filmmaker, so she invited me and she helped me get like a grounds pass to enter the UN. It was pretty cool. It was an amazing experience.
Can you tell me a little bit more about the UN conference and what you guys did there and how you shared your work?
Well, so UNCSW is something that happens around International Women's Day. So the event that I spoke at, we had a lot of other speakers, and we were talking about like the importance of nature and how to like help, you know, the planet and a lot of stuff. So we covered a lot of different topics. And then when I entered the UN, like I just attended conferences where I didn't speak, but I got to learn a lot because I attended a few lectures where we had a lot of amazing guest speakers. Like there was a woman that was like an astronaut at NASA, so it was awesome.
That's very cool. So you said you talked about a lot of different topics. So do you have like a major theme with your poems or something that you talk about very frequently?
Well, it kind of depends. I started writing just as a personal outlet. So it started off with like just writing about my emotions and stuff like that. But now I try to, every time I feel something, like every time something moves me, I write about it. So a lot of times it's about womanhood. A lot of my poems about womanhood are inspired by my mom and my grandma. And one of the poems that I also love that I read out recently at another event is about the US and the immigration policies and all that stuff.
That's very cool. So your mom and your grandma inspire your work mostly. Is there anything else that inspires you?
Oh, just life and nature. I think when I started off, I would write a lot more about nature, but now it's more society specific. I think my shift has kind of changed.
Yeah, that's very cool. So do you have any favorite poems, anything you like sharing more?
Well, I love sharing my US poem, even though it can be a little controversial sometimes. And my poem about womanhood, all my poems about womanhood are really special to me.
That's very cool. So you have a poem to actually share with us today. Did you want to go ahead and?
Yes. Okay. So, this is my America poem. It's called Welcome to the United States of America, emphasis on United. Okay, so I'll just go ahead. And now they tear families apart, marking territory like it's 4-year-olds playing with Lego. But America is not the map, not the industries, not the cash. They forget that America is in the teeming eyes of the Bangladeshi baby that looks at his Vietnamese kindergarten teacher and speaks his first word. America is in the smile of an Indian boy that bites into his first ever burger while sitting on a table with an Asian man, a Caucasian girl, and an African American woman. America is in the choir of a multicultural school concert, various ethnicities chiming in rhythm with their exquisite accents. America is more than this land, more than the upper hand. America is a tapestry of cultures that each revel in their own authentic light, an amalgamation of survivor stories that rattle your insides. America is a rainbow that doesn't shy away from any color, a heart that beats with the roaring light of opportunity. America is sheer resilience, beyond the appearances, beyond the glamour, beyond the definitions of age and gender. Underneath the surface, a wild and blooming garden of fragrance that is unafraid of asking the right questions, that is unashamed of its own voice. America is free. America is brave. But most importantly, America is you.
Wow, that was really beautiful.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for coming. Thank you. Thank you guys for tuning in. Make sure you wake up with us again next week and more UT and Austin news. In the meantime, follow us on Twitter at Good Morning TX for news updates throughout the week. Be sure to tune in to Tower Talks later tonight at 6. Have a great day. We'll see you soon.